Yes, I absolutely love you guys. We are one. We are who we are when we need each other when the day is done. Just think about that for a minute. Heroes don't look like they used to look. They look like you, and they look like me. And I want you to know that every single one of you, even people that I met for the first time this morning, but just know that every single one of you is a hero to me. And just think about that. Think about what that means. Think about what's inside of you that brings out the hero and shows up for that for me. Because it's my truth, and it's the truth that I am desiring to pass on to you this morning. As we move into this blessed, beautiful, precious month of May, of sacred service. There is a lot of sacred service showing up in our lives right now, and I just want to put a huge shout out to everyone that it was at the Teen Fundraiser House Concert last night. Huge shout out. Huge shout out to Mara Burgess, who emceed it like crazy. And to our musician, Robert Anderson, who raised the roof and did a wonderful job. And then to all of you who I called and organized with this week and said, hey, we need help at the rec center to carry chairs, and you were right here to do it. And we need you to bring food, and we're all coming together as a village and a community to raise funds to send our teens to summer camp. And it was amazing. It was an amazing time. And so thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you that showed up to help for that. I just love it. I believe that there is an inherent need and desire within all of us to be in service. I really, truly believe that. And it is a beautiful, wonderful feeling when the passion and joy of that which is desiring to pour forth from us. You remember last Sunday, I talked about the song that's in our heart, and the bird does not sing its song because it has an answer. It sings its song because it has a song in its heart. And I believe that there's a time when that joy and passion of what is within us to give intersects with to fill the need of what it is that is calling out for us. And so bring to your mind times when that has come up for you. And just like Mara's beautiful treatment, affirmative treatment this morning, affirmative prayer, she called out and said, any little thing, any nod or gesture or smile, that has been known to truly turn someone's life around and change their life. So there is absolutely nothing insignificant with anything that is pouring forth from you that which you are being called to give in sacred service. Now, I also believe that the sacredness of our service cannot possibly be unless we are holding ourselves in sacred service. And that is the theme and the topic for this morning. Are we holding ourselves in sacred service? Are you in sacred service to yourself? Are you? If I was to go around and ask each one of you individually, personally, speak from your heart, look me in your eye, are you being in sacred service to yourself right now, today? Do you honor and support and love and cherish and behold yourself as magnificent in every single moment of your life? Now, I can honestly say no, I don't. Of course not. Yeah, no kidding. Woo, I know. But even when I spoke the words, did you feel a flutter in your heart? I know I did. I'm like, like the skies open up and the angels sing, and I'm like, my God, what would my life look like if I were doing that every single moment of my life? What would that look like? What would that feel like? And I got to pondering this, and I have discovered that if you think about it, if you look at most of what we term successful people in our lives, successful people I'm terming as having really fulfilling, loving, supportive relationships and being able to give of their gift in a fulfilling career that sustains them, they tend to take really good care of themselves. Stop and think about somebody, and I'm knowing it's you, but stop and think about somebody in your life that you term and deem as successful. And then think about all the ways that you've noticed that they take care of themselves. in any way, shape, or form, but they take care of themselves. They put that time on their calendar to go for a walk or to go for a run or to give themselves some self-care and some self-nurturing. Are we doing that? And if we aren't, the question would be, of course, well, how come? And if we are, is it working for you? Is it sustaining you? Is it fulfilling you? Because I believe there is a correlation, which is what I'm going to talk to you about this morning, between successful people who, and I do believe successful people take very good care of themselves because they honor and cherish and nourish themselves, and they tend to more often than not see themselves as magnificent in every single moment of their life. I think that there is a correlation between them beholding themselves like that and their success. I don't think there's an accident there. So I believe that how you treat yourself is also your invitation to the world and how they will treat you as well. And I know that. I know that to be true. It also sets the foundation for demonstrating the good in your life. For example, this teenager, Shavari Jain from Delhi, India, told a story how she said, "I've always been the little miss," and back in India, that means to them unimportant, the little miss. She says, I was invisible in my class at my school, and somewhere down the line, I hated myself so much for the position that I held. She didn't think much of herself, and she didn't think she was very worthy, and so she had kind of put herself into this corner, into this position that she thought she needed to hold as being a little miss. And she hated herself for it. And she said, and it was on January 15th, 2011, I know, I just love this. I can see her telling this story. When somehow I fell in love with myself. Something clicked within her. She fell in love with herself, and she said, after that, let me tell you, it has been a great ride. I'm getting straight A's in all of my classes. I was awarded Best Student of the Year. I actually became the head of the student council after losing the school elections 3 times in the past 3 years. She won it. She says, the girl who never spoke up is now being pressed to share her journey. And you will too. Just love yourself, and that's the secret. This is her words. This is her wisdom that she's sharing in her story. I thought that was pretty powerful. Pretty powerful. She even remembers the exact day that she turned that corner and she viewed herself as magnificent and knew that she was worthy of achieving and attaining those dreams and desires that she was holding within herself to give her the opportunity to sing the song that was in her heart. I just think that's really awesome. And so today's talk title is Today Means Amen. Today means amen. So think about what I'm talking about with that. What does today mean, actually? If you were to look it up in the dictionary, today actually means on or in the course of this present day. And amen, there's really only one definition for amen. If you were to look that up, you would find the definition to be so be it. That amen means used to express agreement or approval. So when I say today means amen, I mean that we are expressing agreement and an approval for what we are presenting as ourselves today. When the day is done, when the day is over, what is it that Traveling Light sang that it was all about? How we treated each other. And I'm here to tell you how we treat each other is a direct correlation with how we treat ourselves. It is a complete, total equation, just like 2 + 2 = 4. Eric Butterworth in The Universe is Calling says, do not voice in prayer what you are not willing to rubber stamp in an amen. That's right. So I'm here to add to what Eric Butterworth says. Every thought, every word, every behavior of yours that you think, speak, and express is an amen. You are stamping your rubber stamp of approval on everything that you think and everything that you speak and everything that you do. You're saying amen to everything. Knowing that, when the day is done, would any part of your behavior be different? Would any part of the talk, and mostly self-talk that you do with yourself, would any of that change? If you could visually see yourself rubber stamping, yes, 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 like on an official document that's going to go out to the universe that says, make it so, make it so, make it so. Would any of it change? I'm not sure. I'm asking you. I know it does for me. I know it does for me. Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind textbook, there are many favorites of mine, but this has got to be one of my all-time favorite quotes of his. And I know I've shared it from the podium here before, months ago, but I'm going to share it again. It's worth a bring back. And I'm going to speak this quote of Ernest Holmes, and I'm inviting you to truly take it in with your heart. Take it in as your own words, okay? I shall keep the promise that I have made to myself. I shall never again tell myself that I am poor, sick, weak, or unhappy. I shall not lie to myself anymore, but shall daily speak the truth of my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of all life, truth, power, and action. I shall whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy, with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I shall assure my soul. Beautiful, profound, powerful quote from Ernest. How will we assure our soul? How do we assure our soul? How do we do that? Imagine if you started recognizing your own worth. Even more so than you do now. I'm not saying in that statement that you're not recognizing your own worth, but what if you were to recognize your own worth even more so? What would happen? What would life look like to you? You know, the universe doesn't create a mistake. It never has and it never will. So you can just go ahead and chuck that idea out into the garbage. There is nothing about you that is a mistake. There's nothing about you that is off the mark or missing in any possible way. It's just not possible for the universe to create a mistake. So when you indulge in self-depreciation, when you put your rubber stamp of approval on that self-talk of yours that may come up during your time, during your day of, I really can't go for this because I'm not good enough, or I need to back myself into the corner like the teenager from India did. Anything that you could possibly tell yourself, you know, oh, it's okay for somebody to yell at me and treat me poorly because I'm not worthy of love. How many times have we done that? It's not okay. We're worth being loved and rejoiced and supported in every way possible. And if there's any understanding that ever takes place with yourself, just go within. Go within and get clear that whatever misunderstanding you may be behaving on or acting out on is coming from some kind of belief that you're not good enough. There's some kind of fear in there that you're not the perfect, beautiful, wonderful demonstration of the universe. That's all it is. So if we can just go back and remind ourselves of that, it really clears things up quite quickly, actually. So when you indulge in self-depreciation, the only thing you are doing is telling the inner self that you are not worthy and deserving of the universe's faith in you, and only for the comfort of others. Most of the time, it's only for the comfort of others. There is always a reason to sing your praises. This is not selfish or conceited. If you stop to think, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to be selfish here if I start singing my praises. That isn't true. It's all about self-love. Appreciate yourself. Appreciate yourself as I appreciate you. You are my hero. See yourself as I see you. I see you as radiant and beautiful and unbelievably powerful and amazing. Just imagine if you could see yourself like that all the time. You know, the Creator, there's this quote that I found that is made to be spoken of by the Creator, and the Creator says, appreciate yourself as I do. You are a perfect being created by the universe to enhance your earth plane existence. It has to start somewhere. Why not with you? I thought that was pretty cute. So I am going to introduce an incredible video by, she's She started out in her career as a teenager, and she is an amazing slam poet. And if you're not familiar with slam poetry is kind of a term to define, poetry is a form of expression, and slam poetry really drives home points that the poet is wanting to make, and it's usually full of passion, and it usually leaves you thinking. It's slam poetry is poetry that gets your attention and makes you stand up straight in your chair and go, whoa! And I absolutely love it. I'm a huge fan of slam poetry, and I'm a huge fan of this poet that I'm getting ready to introduce to you this morning. And I wanted to share a poem by Hafiz. Hafiz says, a poet is someone who can pour light into a spoon, then raise it to nourish your beautiful, parched, holy mouth. That is what slam poetry does for me. Sierra D. Mudler is the poet that I'm getting ready to introduce to you this morning. And it says in her bio that she is one of the most accomplished and recognizable young women in the world of slam poetry. She is a two-time National Poetry Slam champion who for the past 5 years energizes audiences now in colleges and poetry events across the nation. She does all that, but I'm here to tell you that she's got something really important to say. That is exactly what it is that I desire for all of us this morning to hear in regards to my talk title, Today Means Amen. I actually got that from Sierra's poem today. And so I am going to share Sierra with you, and I'm going to invite you to pay attention, take in what she has to say, because if you've never experienced slam poetry, they get passionate, and sometimes they start talking fast, and their voice can raise, and it's because they're feeling it. It's because their song is opening up, and they're singing their song, so just go with it. I'm inviting you to just go with it and enjoy Sierra with me. Thank you, Eric. So today means amen. You made it today. Take in everything that she said, because that's what we're here today to know and to be and to take in. Today is a day for self-care. Today is a day for self-awareness. Today is a day for honoring and celebrating our own sacred self-service. Today is a day to listen to your body, do what it needs you to do what it's calling you to do, to exercise, to rest, to lie around, to watch good TV, to read a book, to cook, whatever it is that's calling out for you to do, to take care of you. What do you want to do for you? What do I want to do for me? You know, it is so important that we treat ourselves with loving kindness today. And guess what tomorrow is going to be? Today. Yes. So don't get caught up with thinking it's just today, Sunday, May the 4th. Yeah, that's not my point. Today, loving kindness. I am grateful for this awareness, and for this awareness, I say amen. I put that rubber stamp of seal and approval on this poem and on the fact that today is the day to start listening to yourself, taking care of yourself, holding yourself as sacred. Now, I'm sure that there might be voices in your head going on right now that might be thinking that sounds mighty selfish. Don't know if I can do that, but I am here to tell you that it is exactly the opposite. When you're loving yourself and putting yourself first, everything in your life benefits. Everything in your life benefits. Loving yourself means caring for yourself deeply, making your sleep and your nutrition and your well-being a priority. It can be anything from making your gym time non-negotiable in your schedule, or canceling late-night plans so that you can get enough sleep, or to just shutting the computer off and not checking your cell phone after a certain hour. It's about listening to your body and giving it what it needs to feel its best. Now, I know that I have mentioned many times that when I know, and I usually do know ahead of time what the talk title is going to be, what it is that I'm going to cover, I tend to live it that particular week, as I have mentioned to you before. And this week is no exception. I have truly lived this talk this week. I've truly lived it this morning. If you knew what my morning looked like, you would understand where I'm coming from when I say I have confessions to make. I have not been holding myself in sacred service. I have not been making myself a priority, or my walks a priority, or my gym time a priority, or my good health a priority. I have been putting everything needing to support myself on the bottom of the list. And the list keeps getting longer, and my bottom of the list keeps getting down further and further and further away from my awareness. And today that stops. Amen. Amen. It stops. I mean, it's just hilarious how the universe likes to pound its thing home, isn't it? You know, we had this fabulous teen concert fundraiser last night, which is usually a work night for me, which I'm usually preparing for this morning for. And so I got up super early this morning to finish comparing, and if you just knew, I mean, if you could just imagine, the toilet clogs up. I have to plunge the toilet multiple times, mind you. I have no idea what's wrong with the toilet. And so I'm dealing with that, literally. And I get the blue screen of death on my computer and lost everything that I had been working on for like the prior 2 hours. And I was just like, wow. You know? Wow. Because that's all you can say is, wow. You know? You know, and then when you go to these, you know, when you have those moments, especially when your position is to hold the light for folks and to see the truth for them and to love them and to bring them up and to build them up. When that's your position, when that's your job, you know, what do you think happens when it's time for me to build myself up? Sometimes there's not that much there. That's why today means amen for me. That's why everything that's at the bottom of my list is coming to the top of the list. Because I have to practice what I preach from up here every single time. And you have my solemn vow and oath that I will always do that. Well, if I'm delivering this particular talk this morning, I've got some cleaning up to do. And so I'm going to start doing some cleaning up today. How about you? How about you? Yeah, amen. So you received when you came in this morning a permission slip and a pen. And I don't know about you, but my list needs some adjusting. So I'm figuring if my list needs adjusting, then your list could probably use some adjusting as well. So in this moment, we're going to take out those permission slips and your pen. And I am going to invite you to go within for a second. Just take a moment and close your eyes. Take a moment and connect. Take a nice, long, deep breath in. Connect with your heart. Connect with your body. In regards to taking care of yourself, what comes up for you right now? What's showing up for you right now that you know you can bring from the bottom of your list to the top of your list today? What is showing up for you right now that may not even be on your list that you know is absolutely essential to your self-care and your sacred self-service? And so when you've got clarity around that, go ahead and open up your eyes and start listing them on your permission slip. Because what I want you to do is I want you to take this permission slip home and I want you to put it on the refrigerator or the mirror. And I want you to review it every single day this week. This is your permission slip to yourself. Go ahead and write down and if you feel comfortable, shout out some of the things that you might be writing down. Let's claim it, name it, state it. Paint. I love it. What else? Dance. You betcha. Yoga. Yes. Amen to that, sister. Meditate. Journaling. Awesome. Walking for me. Walking. Love myself. Yes. Better wine. Does anybody have a glass right now? I just want to know. I love it. Anybody else? What else? Whatever it is that you're holding in your heart, write it down. Commit it to paper. Put your stamp of approval in ink. Knowing that as soon as we do that, we are literally mailing off an official letter to the universe saying, yes, it is so, and so it is. And so the whole point of the talk today as we move into sacred service is, of course, to get real with yourself, to get right and straight with yourself, to get in alignment, make sure you're taking care of yourself, make sure that the well is completely full. After everyone else has come to drink from it and you need a sip, make sure it's full. Yes. Yes. And so in knowing that, we do this so that we can truly be in service and give of our gifts and love one another. Right? Right. And for years we've done this really cool thing at teen camp. It's when we would present love awards. Twice a day, in the morning and at night, or actually once a day. Wait a minute. We would present love awards to the teens and to the advisors. And there's a little song that we would sing to each other. We would hold hands and look each other in the eyes. And it's a really awesome song. And some of you know what it is because we did it last night in the teen fundraiser. And I'm going to teach it to you this morning. And it's on a slide. And I'm gonna go over kind of how it goes. And I want you to put your hand on your heart, and we're gonna sing it to ourselves, and then we're gonna sing it to somebody else. Okay? So just prepare yourself for that. For those that get a little antsy when we have to connect with other people. So it goes like this. You guys ready? It goes like this. I love myself so much, so I can love you so much. So you can love you so much. So I can start loving me. Yep. So, did I get that right? Or so that you can start loving me. Did I have that wrong? Okay, see, I got that wrong. So see, blue screen of death, y'all. You gotta just imagine what my morning was like. So it's so you can start loving me is what it is. So you can start, so don't pay any attention to that. It's so you can start loving me. So is everybody good with it? Put your hand, yeah, let's do it. Put your hand on your heart. I love myself so much, so I can love you so much. So you can love you so much, so you can start loving me. Now I'd like you to turn to somebody and hold their hands and look them in the eyes. Yeah. Look them in the eyes. And we're going to sing this together. You guys ready? I love myself so much. So you love you so much. They're ahead of me. So you can love you so much, so you can start loving me. Okay, that was good, but we're going to do it together this time. Find a different partner. Switch partners. Come here, Gio. So we're all going to start together. All right. You ready?
I like my spot so I can see the words.
I love myself so much, so I can love you so much. So you can love you so much. So you can start loving me. Okay, one more time. One more person. One more time. One more time. Okay. Ready? I love myself so much, so I can love you so much, so you can love you so much, so you can start loving me. Awesome. Awesome. We're not quite ready yet, guys, but I'll catch you in a second. So I'm going to close. Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. You're welcome. So I'm going to close today with a couple of quotes, and one of them is from who I love to quote from, our dear Reverend Bob Luckin. This is what he says. The day opens itself and invites me to reach inside and touch every corner of it. Some parts scare me a little. Yeah. Some entice me and many excite me. Some make me smile and laugh. This day is as much mine as I choose to make it. It is as beautiful as my eyes are open to its beauty. Today I say yes, and like any hero's journey, I have no way of knowing what lies ahead and what I will have to learn and master along the way. So from The Universe is Calling, Eric Butterworth. The universe is calling, singing its song of life and love into your whole being. You are one with divine flow. You are in tune with health and substance and love and peace. You walk and work in tune with the infinite process that turns all things of your life to good. And to this I say, Amen.